In March 2026, a video began circulating that seemed to capture everything people believed about Chuck Norris in a single moment. Standing in Hawaii, training with calm precision, he looked strong, focused, and completely at ease. When he smiled and said, "I don't age, I level up," it felt perfectly in character. Fans responded instantly, flooding the internet with admiration, jokes, and genuine affection. For many, it wasn't just a clip, it was a reminder of the image he had built over decades. The disciplined martial artist, the enduring action star, the symbol of resilience. It's easy to see why that moment resonated so deeply. However, claims that surfaced afterward about his sudden passing in March 2026 are not supported by verified, reliable sources. As of now, there is no confirmed public record that Chuck Norris has died. Understanding how misinformation spreads, stories like this often gain traction because they blend emotion with familiarity. Chuck Norris has been the subject of countless internet myths over the years, from exaggerated facts to repeated false death rumors. When a narrative appears that feels believable and emotionally powerful, it can spread quickly, even without confirmation. The structure of the story, a final video, a sudden loss, a reflective legacy, mirrors how real tributes are often written. That makes it convincing at first glance, but without credible reporting or official statements from verified sources, it remains unconfirmed. In today's digital environment, it's increasingly important to pause and verify before accepting such claims. Even well-crafted stories can be fictional or speculative, especially when they involve public figures with legendary reputations. The real legacy behind the legend. Whether or not any viral story is true, what remains undeniable is the real-life impact Chuck Norris has had over decades. His journey from a quiet, uncertain childhood to becoming a global icon is well documented and widely respected. He built his reputation not just through films or television, but through discipline, consistency, and a strong personal code. His work in martial arts, his influence on action cinema, and his presence in popular culture have all contributed to a legacy that goes far beyond any single moment or headline. The internet jokes about his invincibility may be exaggerated, but they reflect something genuine, a widespread recognition of his resilience and endurance. That reputation wasn't created overnight. It was earned over a lifetime of effort. The human story beneath the image. What often gets overlooked in viral narratives is the human side of Chuck Norris. Behind the action roles and public persona is someone who has experienced the same complexities as anyone else: family struggles, personal mistakes, loss, and growth. He has spoken openly about parts of his past, acknowledging both successes and regrets. He has also shown a deep commitment to his family, particularly in difficult moments that required him to step away from the spotlight. These aspects of his life are less dramatic than fictionalized stories, but they are far more meaningful. They reveal a person who values responsibility and connection, not just strength. That balance between public image and private reality is what gives his story depth. Why the myth of invincibility persists. The idea that Chuck Norris is somehow indestructible didn't come from nowhere. It grew from years of consistent portrayal, both on screen and in public life. He rarely appeared shaken, rarely showed weakness in his roles, and carried himself with a steady confidence that audiences found reassuring. Over time, that image became amplified through humor and internet culture. The jokes turned into a kind of modern folklore, playful but persistent. So when a story suggests a sudden, unexpected end, it clashes with that long-standing image. That contrast is part of what makes such narratives feel so powerful. They challenge a perception that has been built over decades, even if the story itself isn't verified. Separating tribute from reality. There's a certain tone in many of these stories that feels like a tribute, reflective, emotional, and focused on legacy. And in a way, They highlight how people want to remember figures like Chuck Norris, not just as entertainers, but as symbols of perseverance and strength. However, it's important to distinguish between honoring someone's life and spreading unverified information. Real tributes are grounded in confirmed facts, while fictionalized accounts can unintentionally create confusion. Taking a moment to verify information doesn't diminish the emotional impact. It ensures that respect is based on truth rather than assumption. In the case of Chuck Norris, his real story is already powerful enough without needing embellishment. The enduring influence of his story. Regardless of viral rumors, Chuck Norris's influence continues through the work he has done and the people he has inspired. From martial arts students to fans of his films, his impact spans generations. His approach to discipline and personal growth has been shared not only through entertainment, but also through programs aimed at helping young people build confidence and direction. These contributions are part of his lasting legacy, one that doesn't depend on internet narratives or dramatic storytelling. It exists in real experiences, in the lives he has touched, and in the example he has set over time. That kind of influence doesn't fade quickly, and it certainly isn't defined by a single moment online. A story still being written. As of now, Chuck Norris remains a figure whose life story continues to be discussed, shared, and sometimes reshaped by public imagination. While viral posts may suggest otherwise, it's essential to rely on verified information when it comes to something as significant as a person's life or passing. His journey, from a quiet childhood to global recognition, stands on its own as a powerful narrative of perseverance. Rather than focusing on unconfirmed claims, it's more meaningful to look at what is known, the discipline he practiced, the challenges he faced, and the example he set. That story, grounded in reality, carries far more weight than any rumor ever could.